This week I took a drive up to the mountains and spent some time along this winding river. I'm thousands of miles away from where I grew up, but the feeling here kinda reminds me of home. The sound of the rushing water and the birds chirping, the sweet smell of pine needles. I still find myself watching the shiny sun reflections on the water and the river plants swaying in the current. I could sit on the shore for hours watching minnows swim just below the surface. All of this fresh water feels familiar and feels a little like home. Feels like summers in Minnesota, in the land of 10,000 lakes. And yet here I am in California, exploring this beautiful place that feels like it was created from my imagination. A peaceful section of a windy river flowing through a canyon that lies right at the base of mountains. It feels like a daydream brought to life right in front of me. Today I want to take this inspiration and make a few painted keychains in one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. Growing up, I spent my summers fishing in lakes and rivers, sometimes with my dad, my grandpas, or my aunt and uncle. Today, I won't be fishing for the trout that swim here, but I will be painting. I'm going to paint a few trout keychains as I reflect on my childhood memories of fishing. Looking back, I think that fishing was probably the closest thing to meditation anyone in my family had ever done. It was that dedicated, peaceful time that allowed the time and space to just be, and to just be together. There was space for dreaming and deep thinking and talking about random things. There was no urgency to be anywhere else, no rush to get certain things done, and in fact, it was known as a stress-free zone, and if you tried to bring any of that on the boat, you would probably be left at the dock. We learned as kids that no one was going to bait your hook for you, and it was okay to get your hands a little slimy. Had to have a little discomfort to receive the reward. And sure, we caught lots of snags and weeds, or as my grandpa would say, Swedes. For the most part, we rarely returned home without at least catching one fish. And we definitely never returned without a story. I remember one summer my dad decided we were serious enough about fishing to let each of us kids get our own section of his tackle box. My sister and brother and I each got one of those clear plastic containers with all the little divider inserts and got to pick out our own arrangement of things to go inside. We started filling them with all his recommendations, from jigs and spinners to bottom bounce sinkers, and then divided up my grandpa's old tackle box to fill in the rest. And that was definitely vintage gear. This is where we got all the colorful, shiny spoons and super reflective or glow-in-the-dark gear that kids absolutely love, but adults usually just smile at and avoid. And this was how we spent our summers, floating on a lake somewhere, staring at the smooth ripples on the surface of the water, eagerly waiting to reel in something cool. Mostly we wanted walleye. That was the family favorite. But sometimes northerns or a crappie would do. I've also never fished for the cute little trout I'm painting before. But I know they are in this river, and I see people fly fishing in the distance upstream. Someday soon, I would love to try fly fishing, but today I'm content with just painting these beautiful fish. Here, the river is home to so many beautiful plants and animals. And here I am, simply painting peacefully among them. So every year, my siblings and I spent a huge chunk of the summer on the lake. My grandparents lived on a lake, and it was basically our cabin. We spent a lot of time there. We got to hang out with my grandparents. We obviously hung out as a family too, and it was a very special place. So most summer nights, we would go out fishing before dark, and I remember one year it was an insanely crazy fishing year. What happened was that all the bait fish, the smelt, in the whole lake for some reason died that year, and this had never really happened before. But what this meant was that all the walleye were really, really hungry, which for a fisherman is best case scenario. So we were just reeling them in that year, fish after fish, and huge, huge ones. Everyone in my family got record lengths that year. I remember my biggest fish was 29.5 inches. My dad still shows his friends the photo of me, this little girl, holding up this giant fish that most people don't even get to catch in their lifetime, let alone a little girl who was probably like 12. Here, I'll just wrap up my day with a lot of gratitude for being able to live out my artist dreams in such a beautiful place, and close out the night with a gorgeous West Coast sunset. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
We can float along the water from the rivers to the sea, go and drift away with the tide. We could sweat all through the summer and the winter we could freeze. I'll be there through it all at your side. So go on, lead the way. I won't be far.